Welcome back to another episode of Home Sweet Home Cooking. I'm your host Rocky in my mother's kitchen with my mother.
Wow.
Yes, how's that work? Today, just like in one of the last videos, I was gifted a case of sweet potatoes. I was also gifted a case of these little boogers, Crook Neck Yellow squash. I can't give away a case of these. The only way I've had these before is sliced, breaded, and fried, like the fried okra video that I did, and those are fine, but I want to try some different things. And I'm doing this with my mom because she's told me several times that squash is her favorite vegetable in the world.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
She hates squash. Well, she doesn't, yeah. Have you eaten squash? But she doesn't like it. Just like my dad.
Yeah.
We've had squash. I've had squash before. I like it. It's kind of bland. There's really not a flavor to it, so you got to do something to it. The first recipe is going to be. The first recipe is actually going to be the fun one that I'm curious about. It's called baked Parmesan yellow squash rounds. You're going to take your squash. You're going to wash it. You're going to cut it into 1/4-inch rounds, and to that, you're just going to give it a little bit of onion salt. I'm sorry, garlic salt. I cut the crook necks all the way up to through the neck. I don't know, like I said, I don't have that much experience with that, so I may be wrong by doing that. I may be right, I don't know. Some black pepper. I've already got the cheese out.
I thought it was Parmesan, but it's mozzarella that's in there.
No, I brought that too. Got the oven preheated to 425. I'm doing this, it says to do it on a piece of foil or a piece of parchment paper in a cookie sheet. I'm going to do it on a rack just to get a little more air on the bottom because you want to get some of the moisture out. And then you're just going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan on them. And then when it toasts up, the Parmesan gets supposed to be a little bit crispy, so it's supposed to be like a little crispy cheese crunch. So we'll see. Now we're going to get these all covered up. We're going to get them in the oven, and it bakes for 15 to 20 minutes. It says you definitely want to check on it if this is the first time you're doing it. See if your stove is going to get the cheese too brown before the 15-minute mark. So I'll check on it at about 12 and go from there. And we'll be right back with 2 more squash recipes. One is going to be a casserole. One is just a squash casserole, and the other one is squash tater tots. So we'll see how those work out. The rounds have been in there for about at least 15 minutes, probably close to 20, about 20 minutes, 18 minutes. Then we turn the broil around a little bit and got a little brown on top. It says serve immediately, so I'm gonna try. Come on.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
She goes for a small one.
This one's smaller and not stuck. It's edible.
Yeah, I mean, it's squash. I mean, it doesn't carry a whole lot of flavor. We turned it off when we did because it was starting to, with the smoke alarm went out, the parchment paper was starting to brown.
And we weren't going to eat that.
I like the flavor. I can taste the garlic powder, or the garlic salt, a little peppery. I can taste the cheese, a little bit of a crunch from that. Definitely better than eating boiled squash.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I think a kid would rather eat this than boiled squash. Think of the kids.
I don't think I'd like to boil it off because it'd be mushy.
Yeah, yeah. These aren't bad. I like them. Yeah, I like vegetables. My dad would never eat these in a million years.
Or more.
Yeah. She probably won't eat many more of these. I'm gonna, this will be my snack while I'm finishing the recipes. So we're gonna get this off here because I need to get this rack so I can par-bake the next recipe's squash. So be right back. The squash casserole recipe I believe this is off of Martha Stewart's website, or it's her recipe. Her name was tied to it somehow. It starts with par-baking your squash. Yes, if you're looking for a quick and easy throw together squash recipe, this isn't it. But your quick and easy, you just throw your squash in a pan and bake it, is going to be soggy. All the liquid that's in here is going to go into the squash and it's going to be wet. So you par bake it, and it takes some of the moisture out of it, so your casserole isn't so soggy. So I got 3 pounds of yellow squash, cut into 1/4 inch slices, 1 onion chopped. Now we don't have a bowl big enough to do this in a bowl, but you'd want to do it in a bowl, or if we're doing it in a stock pot. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Don't have olive oil, so I'm just going to pour the oil over it. And then I'll mix it on the cutting board here. And it calls for 1½ teaspoons of salt. And I'm just going to give this a mix. And I'm going to transfer it to this cookie sheet, this baking sheet with a cooling rack on top. And it's going to go in a 400-degree oven for 25 minutes. Let's see, there's a little sprinkle of salt and black pepper, toss well to combine. Oh, pepper. Has some pepper in here too. And just give it a toss, get the salt and the oil mixed in there, put it on a sheet, bake for 25 minutes. And when it's done, you want to, if you're just doing this in a pan without the cooling rack, it can be done. And then you just want to put it in a colander, let all that water drain off, and you can pat it dry with a paper towel at that point. So once this is baked, I'll pat it down, and we'll be back and put this sucker together. So my squash is pre-baked, par-baked, and it is time to continue on. Now, in a separate bowl, you're going to mix together 2 large eggs. On the whoops, it's got some shell in it. 2 little break there. And that is going to be 8 ounces of sour cream. 4 ounces, half a cup. 8 ounces is 1 cup, so 1 cup sour cream, 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese. 1 cup, I got a little bit left over. And 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh thyme. I don't have any chopped fresh, so I'm going to put in a little bit of dried, about a teaspoon's worth. Give that a stir. And once that's combined, I'm going to fold in the squash and fold it in together. And remember, these can either be par-baked, pre-baked, or par-boiled. If you par-boiled them, you'd want to pat them dry with a towel for sure. See, when I baked mine, they were pretty dry. And once it's combined, you're going to put it into a 3-quart casserole that has been lightly greased.
A 3-quart?
Yep. Be a 9x13 if you didn't have a casserole like this. And for the last step, do me a favor and grab me the towel, please. And the last step, once you get it in the pan or in the casserole, is going to be your topping. You're going to take a roll or a sleeve and a half of Ritz crackers. You're going to break them up, put them in a bowl. 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan. And 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Give that a mix. And that's just going to go on top of the casserole. And once you got that done, it's going to be 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes until the crackers are golden brown and the edges are bubbly. You want to let it rest 10 minutes before you serve it. It'll be piping hot, lava hot. And we'll get this in the oven, let it come out. Give her 10 minutes and give it a taste. Be right back. And last but not least is the squash tater tots. So you're going to, I just cut these in half this way because there's no way they're going to fit in here. And it's going to run through the food processor with a grater in there. 3 of them, about 1.5 pounds. Got them through the food processor. They come out kind of like shredded potatoes, look like hash browns, which gives me an idea. I might actually try doing hash browns made out of squash. In a bowl, add half a teaspoon of salt. Gonna mix that in. I want the salt mixed in pretty well because that's gonna help draw out the liquid. Trying to get these as much liquid out of here as you can. So the next step is going to put them in the colander, put them in the sink, and let that liquid drain out. When the liquid's drained out, after, it says to wait about, while you're getting the rest of the ingredients together, so it's probably going to go about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then you're going to squeeze. Even right now, you can see how much is coming out, and it hasn't even sat yet. So I'm going to get this soaked for a little bit, and I'll be right back. The squash has been drained and squeezed. I've got about a cup and a half of liquid out of that little bit of squash. So yes, you do want to get that liquid out. To this, I'm going to add 1 egg, 1/2 cup of 4 ounces of grated cheddar cheese or other meltable cheese. Cheddar cheese, yes. And I put a little bit of Parmesan in there. So I got 4 ounces of shredded cheese, meltable, and 3/4 cups of breadcrumbs, just regular plain old breadcrumbs. These aren't seasoned. You can season if you want, or use seasoned. 1/2 of onion, finely chopped. It calls for 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
I don't think you got garlic powder out, do you?
You had the garlic salt up just a moment ago.
The salt, you want?
Get the garlic salt, and I'll just do one of that instead of both. Fresh garlic salt.
I didn't put it away.
I didn't either. Oh, it's over here. It's just hiding.
I told you I didn't put it away.
Black pepper to taste. And it's going to call for 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt, or garlic pepper. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to do 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt.
You don't want the powder?
Why would I do that if I got garlic salt? It calls for both. Makes sense to me. And using a spoon, I'm going to try to start with a spoon. Make sure I crack that egg yolk in there. And just give it a mix. Mostly mixed and get it into my hand now.
And if you think he knows what he's doing, you're wrong.
Yeah, I've never made this before. This is brand new to me. All 3 of these recipes that we're doing are kind of geared towards what kids might eat. Because, well, it's squash. Come on, I'm not a big vegetable liker. I like them more than my dad does. So if it's more to what a kid would eat, it's probably something that I would eat. So it's kind of kid friendly for me as well as anybody else, or as much as for anybody else. And depending on your definition of vegetarian, there's mayonnaise, which has egg, and there's sour cream in the other one. This one has an egg. It's got cheese. That one had cheese. If you're just counting vegetarian as no meat, these are vegetarian. They're not vegan. They're vegetarian, depending on how vegetarian you are. If you're the lacto, octo, polio, whatever you want to call it, there is no meat in them. So, I'm going to take these and make little tots out of them. You can form them by hand, or you can use 2 spoons. About 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons, about the size of a tater tot. And if you want to keep your hands from sticking in between, you can just hit your hand with a little bit of cold water, and they should keep from sticking, but they're not sticking too bad. So I'm just going to make these in tots shaped, put them on a parchment sheet lined cookie sheet, and we're going to get them into a 400-degree oven for 25 minutes until the golden brown on the top and lightly brown on the bottoms. So we'll be back when they're ready. Alright, I got them out of the oven, let them rest for about 5 minutes until they cooled off, and took them off, put them on a paper plate. Apologize for that paper plate. I got two of them flipped over. You got a little bit of golden brown on the bottom and just slightly brown on top, and we'll give them a taste. And lastly, it calls for a yogurt dip. In a small bowl, combine 1/3 cup unsweetened Greek yogurt, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. It says in the notes that some people think that's a little bit too sour, so start at 1 teaspoon and work your way up. 1 teaspoon of finely minced parsley or dill, or a mixture. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, or use a small clove of garlic mince. 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1/4 teaspoon pepper to taste. I don't believe in the yogurt dip. Mother, could you hand us our dip, please? It's tater tots, folks. Ketchup. Alright, so I'm going to take my first bite, just a tater tot. Squish tot. Squish, I call squash squish, by the way. Flavor's actually not bad.
Not bad.
Look, very oniony. Some taste of garlic in there. Yeah, I can eat that.
That would be good with my horseradish and ketchup.
Yeah, she makes a ketchup and horseradish dish kind of like stuffed dip shrimp sauce and shrimp cocktail. Now I'm going to try it with her favorite condiment. This is like Frank's Red Hot for her. She puts this on everything.
I don't put it on toast anymore.
Yeah, you used to though, didn't you?
Yes, and
Ketchup.
chocolate cake and ice cream.
Disgusting. All right, with ketchup. Oh yeah, kids would eat this.
I think so.
Yeah, great way to throw some veggies at your kids. A little bit tomato, but man, if you got some leftover squash, give that a try. I can just taste some of the cheese in there. You definitely taste the onion, taste some of the garlic. That's actually pretty good. All right, so we're gonna eat a few more of these, and then we got one more dish to try. It's in the oven right now, so we'll be right back with the squash to taste that.
And he's not out of squash yet.
Squash casserole. No, I got some squash left. I'll probably fry some up with something at home for my girlfriend and I. So we'll be back with the squash casserole taste test. Out of the 3 squash dishes we've cooked, this is the one that worries me the most that I wouldn't like. I don't know. We'll see. That's all I can say. This is the casserole one. Kind of looks like mac and cheese a little bit. I can smell the thyme in there.
What time is it?
It's time to taste.
Oh, okay.
It's been sat for about 20 minutes instead of 10 because we're BS and watching TV, looking at more recipes on the computer.
Kind of tastes like mac and cheese. Kind of. You don't like it?
Nope. The thyme is not right in there for this wrong flavor for it. I don't like the sour cream in it. It's not cheesy enough. I just don't like this one, folks. I'll be honest with you.
See, I don't like mac and cheese, so I don't. That's not high on my list.
I mean, it's edible, but I think this one will probably get put in the trash can, honestly. What do you think? You want to keep it? Yeah. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So, if you like your squash casseroles, that's fine. If you want to try something a little bit different, it's fine. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the squash to begin with. I'm trying to find ways to like it. This is not one of the ways I like it. I like it grilled with, put it on the grill or on a skewer, get some grill marks on it. I like it just roasted, almost caramelized. I like it deep fried, battered and deep fried. I like the rounds with the Parmesan that we made today, and I also like the Tots that we made today. I don't like this. Thumbs down for this recipe, but thumbs up for the other two. So thank you for watching. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Don't be afraid to try it. If you like squash, don't be afraid to try this. Please do. If you have a different squash recipe that's not like this that you think I might like, let me know. I got more squash. I can always get more. I live in Alabama. Getting yellow squash, Crook Neck Squash is not a problem.
Do you know what I taste in there? The thyme, of course, which is what makes me think of the stuffing.
Like stovetop?
Yeah, no, like our stuffing with the sausage and stuff. It's the thyme that makes me think of that. I mean, it doesn't taste like it, but it makes me think of it.
Yeah, I can see that. It gives you that, because our Thanksgiving dressing has thyme, marjoram, and sage, right? And I can definitely taste that in there, but I can't get past the squash.
And I don't like squash.
And the sour cream. The sour cream is not good in there. Cream cheese might have been better.
Yeah.
I might have done it then. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you watch some more videos. Don't know what we have coming up next. I don't even know when this video is coming out, but it should be getting close to our Thanksgiving drop videos. We are already over 100 subscribers. They crept up on us, and we just jumped by that before we even noticed. It was 123 last I looked. It's probably going to be more than that by the time this video comes out. Hey, everybody that's subscribed, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We do this to have fun for us, but we like to share with other people, so we're doing it for y'all.
And the next one will be better. French fried peanut butter sandwiches.
Good night, folks. Have a great night.